Mic is on mute. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Mzansi Unfiltered live stream. Yes, I haven't done one in a while. Let me just clean up this banner because we are no longer talking about that. Where is it? Oh, goodness me. Oh, this one. There we go. Boom. How are you doing? How are you doing? Drop a one in the comment section. Let me know you are inside Pagati within. Let's do some sound checking. Mic 1 2 3 check. Mic 1 2 3 check. Do you hear me loud and clear? Guilty as charged. Andile is calling me out. It's been a minute. Yes, indeed it has. I just got live stream fatigue, I think. No, not even. So when the court is in session, I think I did tell you guys. I always tell you guys that okay, from now on I won't be going live anymore. So I actually don't go live on the days of the court because it's just me, okay? And I'm just a girl. So I prefer to do my video segments as opposed to going live because I want to be thorough in my segments. And then I do the segments, and then, they live long, they're evergreen. And anytime we need to check on something, they're there, they're compartmentalized. So that's kind of my style. Sometimes, rarely, okay, I will go live when the court is in session. Let me just fix my screen. What on earth is going on here? Why is my screen Give me 1 second. Let me just do some admin over here. In the meantime, chat amongst yourselves, okay? In the comment section. Let me know what you're doing and let me know what is happening. Yeah, let me know what is happening. I want to find the struggling session from this week. Give me 1 second. The struggling, what is it called? Struggling evidence. One thing about Omnisi from Omanled to high school. He is going to insult the state with a straight face, and at the same time, and as we are laughing out loud, it is absolutely hilarious to watch. But I think he did a brilliant job in calling Baloy out, actually. And guess what? Baloy wasn't bothered. Baloy, that was the least of Baloy's problems. Calling him exactly what it is? No, that wasn't Baloy's problem. Baloy was more focused on convincing the judge. You see, you cannot distract Baloy. He had an end goal, and his end goal was to ensure that my lord is complicit and fully understanding the nature of what is going on. That is what Baloy is all about. Don't ever take him for granted. No, not at all. He is dead serious about making sure, okay, accused number 4 is not acquitted. I want to hear from you. I want to check in on you. Let me know, do you think that accused number 4 will be acquitted? That is what I want us to dive into today. Let's break that down. And yeah, let me check your comments. Here we go. Okay, we are now inside Pagati within. There we go. Perfect. Okay, everything is now great. Yes, we are where? Inside Pagati within. Today's live stream. Hello, happy Sunday. JJ says, hey, Mzansi Unfiltered. I love that this comment came in before we were even live. Thank you for waiting for the live to come through. Owami is also here, and she says, hi, Mzansi Unfiltered. How you doing, Owami? I hope you're having a great Sunday. We have Dan in the building. Boo, 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 boo. And Dan says, greetings, Mzansi Unfiltered. Andile is definitely Pagati. We are inside and waiting. Love it for us. We also have Lambo Design is in the building. I know she's not doing a school drop off because today is a Sunday. So does that mean she's here inside Pagati? Let me know if you're still in the room. Lambo Designs, for once I got the notification right on time. Hello, family. Okay, thank you for confirming. Notifications are up and running today because I did get a couple of people who let me know I didn't get the notification. I can't believe you were live. I just can't believe you were live and I didn't get the notification. 111. Okay, great. You guys hear me well. Spiwe says, inside Pagatim Gologodu. But did you hit the like button? You guys know the deal. If you're inside, if you're Pagati, you hit that like button right away. Why? Because you can forget. And you know what? I forgive you for that. But let's take care of business. Let's hit that like button. If you decide at the end, you know what? This is not for me. I don't like this. You can go ahead and take back your life. Your like, rather. You can take back your like. But let's get it out of the way. You only got to do it once. You only have to do it once. What the like button does, it's mileage, okay? It's mileage for my videos on these YouTube streets, and it tells YouTube, hey, we are inside Parati within Mzansi Unfiltered. She is live streaming. Let other family members know. And then, YouTube increases the distribution. It's got to do with algorithm. And algorithm is something important to us content creators, okay? So your support, it means the world to me, okay? Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Watch the ads, and so on. And Angela goes on to say, firstly, I haven't been really following the court. Is the state back in charge? Andile. What do you mean, is the state back in charge? You haven't been following the court? Like that, I wouldn't even know where to start, because we are at a pivotal point in the SENZO MEYIWA trial. It's time for you to buckle up, get back in. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Make sure you're inside Pagati within the SABC live, and don't SABC. This is a message for you, okay? Yeah, let me just put this on record right away. I need you to know that Tuesday is a big Mgologoja day, okay? We are not interested in the weird screen, in the weird sounds, in the glitching, because it's giving Mgologoja, okay? It's giving assisting the state. It's giving, let's confuse the record. No, okay? We would like you to do mic 1, 2, 3 testing, everything. You've got a whole Monday to ensure that inside Pagati within that live streaming, I don't know how they do it, okay? I don't do broadcasting, but somebody is the source. Because I even I said, okay, fine, whatever. Let's just go and watch this on Newsroom Africa with their big logo in the center of the screen. Like, that isn't a huge distraction, because they're all about, I don't even know what it is you guys did to them, and they woke up one day. It's not me, okay? I don't think I'm the culprit, although I might be a huge culprit. They woke up one day and someone in a boardroom over there at Newsroom Africa said, you know what? Eldridge is gone. He's gone to be a tourism done. It's time for us to put the banner inside Pagati within. And no, don't put it on the top left, bottom left, right, top right. No. Put it in the center of the screen, just so that everybody knows who they're watching. We do not care, okay? We do not care. So basically, it didn't matter whose channel you went to, that sound was still there. And you know what? SAPC, fix it, okay? Fix it, because according to YouTube commentary, this channel is funded in part by the government. Use those government tender funds, okay? Because guess who also is going to be inside Pagati within the court next week? Cat, okay? We need to hear what Cat is up to, okay? Because the Cat has got 9 lives. Is he going to do better than KT Molefe and actually get granted bail? Guys, let's just take a moment to acknowledge Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, okay? Because what a wow, okay? We have made it to the end of August. We have survived. There hasn't been a second press briefing, but let me tell you, there's a shakeup everywhere. Wherever you look, left, right, or center, everyone is on edge. What about inside Pagati within Judge Rutta's courtroom? Let me check your comments. Let me see what is happening. I don't know why. Am I echoing? Because I feel like I'm echoing. But let me see the comments. Let me see. So, Angela, basically, in summary, I am not in a position to bring you up to speed. But stay tuned, okay? You can pick up a little bit here and there on what's going on. Also, why haven't you been following? I've updated the entire family on what's been going on. If you just hit videos, you pick, I don't know, the last 7 videos, it's going to bring you up to speed, because everything is pretty important. one of the videos I broke down for you guys. Yes, yes, I've seen your comments. We do not like to watch Baloy. I don't want to watch Baloy. I can't stand his voice, Baloy. We still have to watch the record, okay? Because if you do that, that's where they sneak in the struggle evidence, okay? And then you'll be like, wait, when did that happen? So Baloy actually, I think a video I did yesterday, Baloy actually summarized, no, not even summarized. He put on the record again Bongani Danzi's two confessions. So the first confession was with Rapadu, okay? And then the second confession was in front of the magistrate. And then, some of the things that I want to know is why was it important for them to do two confessions? So, Advocate Baloy, George Baloy, that is, head of struggling content, no, head of struggling evidence, literally went inside Pagati and he's like, well, my lord. So you see, Obangan in Tanze, the reason why we cannot grant accused number 4 his application 174 is because Danzi implicates accused number 3, 4, and 5 and 1 as well in his confession. So you see, he wrote two confessions. One was before a commissioned officer, aka don't say it was an improper confession because it was in front of a commissioned officer. He made sure that the judge heard that. One thing about Baloy, watch the words that he uses. Baloy is not a fool, okay? Let me tell you that for free 99. Baloy is not a fool. He is actually, I'm going to use the word brilliant, but put it in quotations. Okay, he's very brilliant. And why are we putting it in quotations? Because he is sneaky in that sense. So he instead of responding to Ngumalo's Section 174 application, basically respond, in an argument, right? You and I are arguing. Why didn't you wash the dishes? I did wash the dishes. Why didn't you clean up the house? I did clean up the house. Baloy doesn't bother doing that, okay? You will say, why didn't you wash the dishes? And he'll say, well, you see, the thing right here is that it's going to be very important to know that the cleaning lady didn't come to help assist with the clean. Like, he walks away from the problem. He doesn't address what you have brought up, that right now inside Pagati, the dishes are not washed. He doesn't address that. Instead, he wants to take you back to 2 years ago when you reached an agreement as a couple. Okay. So then he says, Bongani Danzi wrote two confessions. One was before a commissioned officer, Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu, at the Morocco police station. And then the second one was before magistrate, okay, the magistrate Karanje, who turned on her laptop to record because she said, I know Mkulugutus when I see them, okay? I can recognize Mkulugutus when they walk into my court, and this one is giving Mkulugutu probably Bongani Danzi. She could see or she could smell him from a distance. She could just see there's a lot of unruly things that are going on. Let me record, because you know what? Once upon a time in the near future, when Lieutenant General Mkonanzi from his tiny little corner of KZN, and he says something along the lines of, there can never be peace between a criminal and a police officer. I, Magistrate Kranje, I can go inside Pagati within the inquiry that's supposed to start tomorrow, but then it's not going to start tomorrow because it is, okay, South Africa is a movie. Why would it start tomorrow? Okay, what? There's a 3-month deadline where they're supposed to come back and give the president an update. Hello, Cyril Ramaphosa. What is going on? Okay, you should have just handled this without an inquiry. You should have called Mkonanzi to your office to bring you the details. And now all this time has passed and passed and passed, and. But back to Magistrate Kranje, because I think I digressed a little bit there. I think I went down a rabbit hole. Speaking of going down a rabbit hole, make sure you signed up to my other YouTube channel, okay? GNU Unfiltered. You're going to love it over there. Why? Because I'm more liberal over there. I know it says GNU Unfiltered. I'm telling you a story behind the name of the channel. It was after elections. And then, the ANC did an ANC in the election votes. And then they said, we're going to partner up with the DA. And then we're going to call this thing the GNU. And I said, you know what? It's giving Gulugu to let me start a channel, let me track highlights of this GNU thing. So that's the channel name. Maybe I'll change it one day. I don't know. But for now, that's what we are. GNU Unfiltered. Make sure you go ahead and hit the subscription button over there because hello, we are already at 6,000 subscribers as of this morning. We are growing. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. But what you need to know, why I want you guys to also subscribe over there. I have opened up the community tab. Okay. What that means is I've opened up the floodgates. It means I trust you enough that you can post on my YouTube wall. That's a huge step for me as a control freak. Okay. So you can post whatever you want. You post it over there. And then we engage as a family, can be on any topic. So we're going to, that's our test run. Okay. Basically, behave yourselves or else I'll close it off. And if we do good over there, I'll open it over here. And you know what it is. So go ahead. If you want to test it out while we're live, let me know. And then we'll play around with it. But let me stop digressing. Let's go back to Bongani and Tanze's confession. Okay. So Magistrate Kronje said, I know Mgulugutus when I see them. They are inside Pagati within. There's that Mchiako and his fake numbers, fidelity, dun number. I'm just going to hit record. Okay, I'm not going to tell anyone because these guys can pew me on my way home in the driveway as I park. No, I'm not going to let them know. But then, you know what? When the heat is hot, I'm going to sit inside Judge Rutta's courtroom and say, I've got a recording. So, at the Boksburg Magistrate Court, in the presence of Umchiako, who was an attorney at the time, Baloyi makes sure that we know he was an attorney at that time. He worked, Bongani Danzi said that he worked in Carltonville in 2014. My lord, he said he worked in Carltonville in 2014. That is true. How do we know it is true? Because the HR manager came and testified in court. And that means, my lord, that Bongani Danzi is very trustworthy. He's so trustworthy that one sentence that he worked in Carltonville in 2014 is backed up by his HR manager, which means, ladies and gentlemen, he was of sound mind, okay, when he did this confession. He was of sound mind. It was free and without fear. Okay. And he wrote it down and the HR manager confirmed. So everything else. So basically, just because he worked in Carltonville in 2014 and he put it in his confession and the HR manager came to confirm this information, it's equal to everything else that is written in that confession is 100% true. That is Baloyi playing with my lord's mind. You see, Baloyi understands the judge. He understands the judge very, very well. He knows what buttons to push. He knows what to say to get my lord all excited and ready to go. And just that sentence, and my lord was like, yeah, yes, I remember. I listen in court. So his HR manager testified in this court. So this helps to show the truthfulness of Ntanzi's confession. He received a call from Osfisoguhle Ntuli, who is accused number 5 in this court. Baloyi, get out of here. Okay, we all know who Fisoguhle Ntuli is and that he is accused number 5. Get to the meat, get to the bones. So again, I emphasize to you that Baloyi emphasizes when he is presenting, he knows the points. I bet you they're highlighted in pink when he needs to emphasize to my lord on that paper of his. He emphasizes to my lord so that my lord fully understands that, oh, okay, I have to write this down. This is an important little bit of information that I can use when I read back my ruling. And those members of the jury and those bondaba, okay, I'm going to get them because this is on the confession. Yeah. So he says, this is helpful as it shows the truthfulness of Ntanzi's confession. Ntanzi also says he received a call from Fisoguhle Ntuli to come to Wasutu Hostel. And when he got to Wasutu Hostel, accused number 1 was also there. Okay. If I was the English teacher and I was grading Bongani Ntanzi's storytelling skills, I'd be like, wait a minute. You just introduced a character. You don't tell us who he is. You don't tell us your relationship with Fisoguhle and Tuli. You don't tell us how Umuzi is inside Pagati, the room. The story just starts with, I got a call from accused number 5 to come to Basutu hostel to his room. And when I got there, Muzi was there. Why do you respond when summoned by Fisoguhle and Tuli? That's too random for me. That point, if I was part of the defense, I would have hammered down on that. Like, how on earth did Fisoguhle and Tuli call Ubongani Danzi? I can't remember from the records of the Section 205s if they established a phone link between accused number 5 and accused number 2. That would have been an interesting thing to tear that one sentence down. But we are not there, okay? We are here at the application stage of Section 174 after the state, aka Baloi, has closed the state's case. And the confessions were provisionally allowed in by my lord. So Muzi and Sfiso, Guhle, and Tuli were inside the hostel, and then out of nowhere, Fisoguhle and Tuli says, we have a job. Okay, we have a job. He tells Bongani Danzi what the job entails and that they have to go and do it this evening. Now, I've never been in Kabi, okay, but I've watched many, yeah, did I say many? Many um, thriller movies, court cases, analyzing kind of movies, horror movies. I don't remember what they're called. Okay, I've watched a lot of suspense movies as well. There's one common theme. Okay, whoever wrote down this confession, again, I told you, there's a lot of red underlining I would have to do in the story flow. All the movies I've ever watched, including, okay, shout out to the cast of, let me just see what it is. Will I find it? I recently watched it. How do you watch something you've watched? It's on Netflix. And wait. I have to tell you. Because, anyway, Malife is in there. Not Malife. Lerato is in there. Okay, she recently attacked Gaten McKenzie. And she and all these other Mkulugutus or learning to be Mkulugutus are going to rob their boss and do a heist. And they're going to take money. Okay. They planned and planned and planned. So the point that I'm making is, so Fisoguhle Ntuli said, no, tonight is the night. No planning, no assessment, no role playing, just here's what we're doing tonight. And Bongani Danzi said, yeah, this is a great plan. That for me is where you can see how ridiculous this whole plot is. Very ridiculous. Did I say ridiculous? Ridiculous. It's absolute hogwash. Yeah. So, Fisoguhle Ntuli tells him that we have a job today. It has to be done this evening. And Bongani Danzi was then briefed on who the person to be unalived is. And that person, ladies and gentlemen, is the deceased, the late SENZO Meyiwa. May his soul rest in peace. And that they were hired by Kelly Khumalo. She was also going to make a payment for the whole job. Of course, she's going to make a payment for the whole job. Like, that sentence as well for me is ridiculous in the storyline. What do you mean she's going to make a payment for the whole job? She's going to pay you partially, so you're going to partially unalive sense. That doesn't make sense. That's another sentence I would have torn down in the confession. But then what happens next? Okay. And Kelly Khumalo was going to make a payment for the whole job. Mapisa, accused number 4, the man of the match, the man who has gathered the nation for the past week. Mapisa was positioned outside as a backup. He was such a backup that he had to stand by a window. According to Bongani Danzi's confession, he's standing by the window. And someone left a comment today, and that comment made me laugh so much. The comment literally says, you know what, these confessions, fine. Let's just say they're true. Okay. Let's just go with the state. Let's just struggle with the state. Okay. If the confessions were true, then why wasn't Danzi? Well, then why didn't Danzi and Sevilla? Then why Danzi and Sevilla didn't confess about who was wearing the hat amongst the five accused? Listen to that. Let me read that one more time. If the confessions were true, then why wouldn't Danzi and Sevilla confess about who was wearing the hat among the five accused? Even Zungu, in his Nkanekwane, okay, should have said, and Zungu hammered on the point that Bongani Danzi had two sweaters. I've always said, who walks around with two sweaters? He wore one color, and then when they came back from the job, he changed into the other. Zungu, since he was so observant as a police officer who should be arrested immediately, in my opinion, why didn't he say, and then accused number 4 was wearing the hat, or accused number 3 was wearing a hat? He doesn't mention a hat. But the hat is very pivotal to the state's case because nobody knows who the hat belongs to. And also, the DNA doesn't say the hat belongs to any of the five accused. I mean, it is so pivotal that the state decided, you know what, that hat is going to be the death of us. Let's just make sure my Lord knows that the hat is neutral. Okay, the DNA result said neutral. Have you ever heard of such hogwash? So that is the state for you, okay? Desperation, struggle bus. That's the state's placing right now. So Mapisa was the backup guy who was outside, and then he heard the gunshot, two shots, that is, right? He heard pew pew, and he said, oh my goodness, my best friend. That's my friend, accused number 3. I have to go and check on him, okay? And he ran from the window, okay? Because, the door was on the other side. So he ran past the BMW X6, a whole X6 that was parked outside. And he ran. He ran into the kitchen, and then he saw the hat, and then he touched it just before he left. Even accused number 3 didn't see him. Sandy, of all people, the most reliable Mapopola witness, she didn't see him. Nobody saw him. Maybe the only person who saw accused number 4 is SENZO MEYIWA, but he has passed away, so he's not here to tell the court that he saw him. Not even Makumalo, not even Kelly. Nobody has come to the stand to place Mapisa, accused number 4, inside Pagati within the crime scene. Absolutely no one. Of course, except the magician, okay? Makeleni. And why do I say he's a magician? Man, he can see in the dark. He can see everything in the dark. He can see dreadlocks. He can see gold tooth. He can see that looks like a firearm. He can see everything except who's wearing the hat. And yeah, for me, that was strange, okay? Makeleni. I never thought he was a real person. I'll be honest. Okay, I thought he was a fictitious character until the masterminds. Okay, the masterminds came through this week, and they came through with a whole death certificate. Shout out to Jabs and Patricia Mashale on the Mastermind channel. Wow. I was like, wait. So this whole time we've been saying Makelani. That's not his name? Makeleni. That's the name. Okay, Baloy, you've got to stop butchering people's names. Should have known from the time you said Shalolo. Like, what is that? What is that? You know what? I'm digressing. So according to Ubongan Danzi's confession, that is literally what happened. Okay, Mapisa, he ran into the house after standing outside. It was in October, so it was not a cold night. So he stood outside. Wait a minute. If it was October, why was Wanganin Danzi wearing a hoodie? Hmm? Why was Wanganin Danzi wearing a hoodie? October is very hot, guys. Think about it. Very hot. Very hot. Think about that. Food for thought. Okay. So here's what happened. They were all initially in accused number one's room. Then they moved to the room of accused number five, where they were joined by accused number three and four. Can you see the amount of hogwash? What does that sentence have to do with anything? What were they doing in the room of accused number one? Why did they then move to the room of accused number five? That for me is like, no, wait, Bongani Danzi, you gotta rewrite your confession. I need to understand what was the movement in that room. I also need to understand, why did Fisaguhle Ntuli call you? What is your relationship with each other? And then the confession also says Carlos and Mapisa, they called Kelly and told her they were ready. Who called Kelly? Like whose phone? It got to be specific. So we check the section 205, right? Did they hold the phone together? Why are two names mentioned at the same time? Because to make a phone call, only one person needs to dial the number. So why does this particular sentence says accused number three and accused number four? Yes, we know they're best friends, but only one person is able to dial the phone number. Do you agree with me? Drop a two if you do, okay? But that's another thing I would break down in that confession. So they called Kelly and they told her they were ready. So Kelly's sitting there with SENZO Meyiwa and all the others in the house. And then they call Kelly to say, yeah, we're ready, okay? We're ready. And Kelly says, yeah, today's the day. Yes. Come and unalive this man who won't marry me and wants to go to his wife over there at the birthday party. Yeah, come and unalive him. No, don't unalive him on his way to the birthday party. No, come and unalive him right in front of me and my children and my mother while we're having Sunday dinner. I don't know who to blame for that thought process. I blame the author of the confession, and that is not Bongani Danzi, okay? Then Kelly told them they were ready, and then they all left. They all left in a Polo Vivo driven by accused number five, okay? Inside the Vivo was accused number 2, 3, 4, and Umuzi, and it was on a Sunday. And that was between 7 and 8 p.m. They then met Simpiwe. This is for me is like, okay, who is Simpiwe? Again, the confession is, the storyteller in this is just going to fail. If they were ever to submit this confession to Netflix and say, yeah, can you build a storyline around this? Can you get writers to, there's not enough information. They then met Simpiwe, who was driving another Polo Vivo, who gave accused number 4 2 firearms. So when they left, so why didn't this Simpiwe come to the room of accused number 1 or accused number 5? Why did they have to meet in the street? Which street? Where did they meet? Where did these cars stop? And then they gave each other these 2 firearms. And then Simpiwe left. Why did he leave? Why didn't he stay for the action as well? But let's fast forward, okay? That was in 2014. Let's fast forward to present day after Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's combat press briefing. And then now we find out that Katie Molefe and friends all use the same AK-47 for all the unalivings. Like, why are you using the same AK-47? Is there a shortage? Oh, it's the one that guarantees you your freedom because you guys had been working with insiders in the judiciary and the police, and you just didn't care. You were just so careless. But anyway, we are not there. Let's go back to the Simpiwe character, okay, who just happens to give people firearms. I am not Nkabi. I keep saying that, okay? But if I was Nkabi, if you're going to give me a firearm, I need to test it first. I'm not going to test it inside Pagati, the Spaza house, and then what if it doesn't? What if it sticks? What if it jams? What am I going to do? I don't trust anyone, okay? Simpiwe included. How can I trust that the firearm he's given me is ready to go? I don't know. But I think if I was in Gabi, I'd need to use my mshina, right? I'd need to use the one that has been taken to Zwane, and then he's done the things on it, okay? So that I walk in and out and I'm not defeated. I don't know. I'm just trying to think like I'm Gulugudu, like a whole hitman, right? Like Hankabi. Anyway, Baloy continues and says, and then Kelly Kumalo called again. Like for someone who was sitting with the victim, she kept calling. What was she calling for? Why does she keep calling? She's got to be one of those annoying people like Peggy Cele, who called. Peggy Cele called Kat Matlala 10 times. And Kat Matlala kept declining the call, never answered the call. Kelly Kumalo must be one of those people. Why you keep on calling the Nkabi on the day of the hit? They already understand the assignment. Why are you calling? Why are you calling? Why are you calling? Anyway, so apparently Kelly Kumalo, she called accused number 3. And then accused number 3 then called the accused Muzi, Mapisa, and Fisaguhle and Julie outside the car. Bongani and Danzi was left inside the car. Okay, they had this secret conversation that doesn't include Ubongani and Danzi. That's the version of the state, okay? And then accused number 4 then gave Mncube the firearm. Are you still listening to this hogwash, the struggling evidence? Drop a 3 if you think the evidence is really struggling. And then, why did accused number 4 have a firearm if he was going to stand outside by a window? And then Longwe Twala ran out and he said, let the cheese boy go. Are you understanding this nonsense? Let's go. So Muzi got the firearm. Accused number 4 got a firearm and Muzi got the firearm. The people outside got the firearms. This is weird to me. But Danzi had his own very small, tiny little firearm that he was given inside the car. Given by who? But we continue. Okay, we continue down this hogwash. Mncube said that they must all be in position. Then they all got out of the vehicle. Muzi was on the lookout. Then Mapisa went to stand by the window. Carlos pulled out a firearm and demanded. I'm laughing because this is how Baloyi says this. Imali, they said it, my lord, in Isizulu. Imali, no. Let me channel my advocate Baloyi voice, okay? Give me a second. Let me get into character. Baloyi then says, and they said, my lord, in Isizulu, cell phone, imali panzi. Yeah, he said panzi because I wrote it down that way. Panzi mali nama cell phone. Which means, my lord, cell phones and money down. Then accused number 3 fired 2 shots. And my lord, this matches the evidence. You can hear the desperation in his voice. My lord, this matches the evidence. The evidence of the ballistics. He left the house as SENZO was falling. Now, have you ever watched a movie? Okay. Do those people just do and turn and run? Or they do shots and they make sure you are out for the count. There's no resuscitating, nothing. So according to this, so now I need the ballistic expert to also tell me, how is Carlos certain that when SENZO MEYIWA dropped, excuse the sentence, dropped dead, okay, excuse the sentence, but there's no other way I can say it. So when SENZO MEYIWA dropped dead with that one bullet shot, why don't we hear Zandi saying, and then when SENZO dropped to the floor, accused number 3 made sure that he's unalived? Why don't we not hear that? I've never heard of an Nkabi who just goes pa and runs away with one shot. Because remember, the other one hit the floor. And then it hit Uzandi's ankle, and now we have attempted murder charges. I don't know. This is just me just thinking out loud. Let me know if I've gone way past the realm of thinking properly, okay? But that's how my overactive imagination works. And in order for you to get me to buy into the story that the state is selling, you gotta help me. You gotta give me substance to work with. And I just don't see. I'm struggling with Nkabi who just goes pa and runs away. Then we can conclude that accused number 3 is definitely a coward. Okay, coward. but not the one that we see in court. No, that looks like a very determined man. Very, very determined man. So we continue because you know it doesn't go there. So then this is Baloy. My lord, that matches the evidence, okay? The evidence from the ballistic expert. Remember Mangana, okay? Wink, wink. Remember Mangana and his struggle evidence. I know it's struggle evidence, but my lord, two is two, okay? Mangana said 2 shots were fired. And over here in the confession, it says 2 shots. 2 + 2 is 2, my lord. Okay, let's focus, focus. Don't listen to anything else. Especially the fact that the defense has their own ballistic expert. This is Mangena we're talking about, okay? He is a prominent ballistic expert. He is so prominent, okay? He is so renowned. He sometimes travels for his ballistic expertise, and while he's traveling, the firearm for the SENZO MEYIWA case, yeah, it's in his office, in his safe for the last 5 years, my lord. Yeah, he's the one who brought it to court and he carried it. No, never mind the chain of evidence. That's not important in this SENZO MEYIWA trial. What's important is that we have the firearm. Where it has been, whether it was in an open bag, that is irrelevant, my lord. Okay, irrelevant. Focus. 2 shots were fired. Mangena confirms it. That's all. That's all. Okay, that's all we need to carry this story. I know. I don't know why Mnisi is calling it a struggling evidence. It is the evidence, my lord. Don't pay attention to Mnisi, okay? I mean, after all, I forgive him, okay, because he went to Mandle to high school. I forgive him. He must have misaligned his words, his English words. So let me do a check on the comment section. I've been going on and on, right? But you can't blame me. This is what this evidence is like. If you break it sentence by sentence by sentence, that's where you're like, man, come on now, Valoy. What do you take us for? What do you take us for? Anyway, so accused number 4 went into the house, okay, after the 2 shots. It was like, pop. And then accused number 4 said, oh my goodness, my best friend. I've got to go in and save him. I've got to go and make sure everything is cool. Accused number 4 went into the house. Muzi stayed outside. Why did Muzi stay outside? Why? Why did he stay outside? Because as far as I am concerned, okay, Muzi Sevilla and accused number 4 should be fired on the spot because Alongwe Twala escaped when there were 2 people outside. Come on now, Kininda, you gotta make the story make more sense than this. 2 armed. Remember, they have firearms. Simpiwe gave them firearms. They were armed. But Longwe Twala managed to just run out. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's actually quite disappointing. It's actually quite disgusting. Anyway, accused number 4 went into the house. Muzi stayed outside. As per the evidence, my lord, of Makeleni, okay? Makeleni touched on this. Makeleni. Baloy. No. Okay. And then the next thing that Baloy covers on is they all came back and then they drove back to the hostel. Number 4 asked number 3, are you sure you hit him? But number 4, you went into the house. Why are you asking questions? You ran into the house. Why didn't you check that yourself? So this is Bongani Danzi eavesdropping, right? Because he's the storyteller. And he says that accused number 4 asked number 3, are you sure that you hit him? And then Fisoguhle Nduli ordered Danzi to go to the kitchen. Why? Why isn't Danzi being excluded from this conversation when he was the one who was inside? He's actually the one who can tell the story better than everybody. But no, he is then excluded, okay? He is excluded from the big boys club. And then he goes to the kitchen. Accused number 5 comes to him and he gives him 15,000 rands. Ooh, 15,000 rands. For what? For running out of the house, I guess. Okay. And then after 2 days, he got an additional additional money, and in total, he got 45,000 rands. The state, however, is unable to prove this money in any way, shape, or form. The state struggled to prove this, that they went online to Facebook to look for a bag of money. And then the state came in their struggle evidence pursuit And they even put it on the record that that bag of money, the photo of the bag of money, is visible on Kelly Kumalo's phone records, Longwe Twala's phone records, and accused number three's phone records. But they will never, ever, 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 I repeat, never, ever, 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 ever call Kelly Kumalo to the witness box to tell us about the money, to tell us about the hit, to tell us about the phone calls, to tell us about anything. The evidence is struggling. If you agree, drop a 4 in the comment section down below. So that confession was taken on the 24th of June 2020, my lord. Okay. Um at no 24th of June. This is when Bongani Danzi was arrested, and then he went to the magistrate and she turned on her laptop. Somebody has to get a. Where is Lieutenant General Umkonaze when you need? We need him to go get that laptop. Go get that laptop, process that recording. We have to hear what it says. That's all I'm saying. And then Section 105. Okay, my lord. So Section 105 is in agreement. Okay. Why are you talking about Section 105? Oh, Balo is very smart. He's a very, very smart man. Okay. He talks about things and then he says, I know that you said it's not admissible, my lord, but I just needed to say it again, just to bring back your memory when you're there by yourself thinking about this whole case. Just remember the evidence that isn't admissible, but use it, okay? Use it, but don't mention it. It's not admissible. Danzi's confession has him admitting he was in the house, therefore confirming the version of the victims of the dreadlocked attacker. Bongani Danzi states he also talks about the 2 shots. And then from there, Baloyi talks about Lionel Zwane, the traditional healer, for accused number 1, that they went to visit him the day before and after the unaliving of Usenzo. So I'm going to cover that later, okay? I'm going to pause here because we have covered in its entirety the confession, or should I say the alleged confession of accused number 2, Bongani Danzi, which implicates accused number 4 that he was at the hostel, okay, common purpose. He was there when they were planning. And then he was there at the crime scene, common purpose. And he also had a firearm, common purpose. He understood the assignment, okay? The assignment was to unalive SENZO MEYIWA. So he's not going to walk away from Section 174 clean and clear. Because yes, my lord, I know that you can't use a confession to implicate another accused. But my lord, pay attention to the facts. So that's why we had to continue cooking and find Zungunaiza to come and tell us about what they were doing at the hostel. Do you see why Zungunaiza is important to the state? They could not use the confession. The confession just tells the story according to Obongani Danzi, but it cannot be used to say guilty, accused number 3, 4, and 5. The state had to then prove everything that is in that statement and then tie in the others, which is why they were not arrested before accused number 1 and 2. So oh my goodness, I have a lot of comments. Let me check. How are you doing? Here we go. Oh, where it says, Molweni Mzansi, how are you, my lady? As the court pleases. As the court pleases, that's right. All is perfect. Thanks for confirming the sound. I see the ones. Thank you, guys. Pagati with my like, just the way I love it. Umlungisi Jonas, as in Jonas. I don't want to interpret. I don't want to be sitting here and reading English and this is Zulu for an entire day. And then he left us with what's his name? Mr. Lapoge. You guys, why did you do that to the interpreter? Why did you give him that name? Hendrik says, inside Pagati within. Homuso is also here. Hi, family, watching from bots. Shout out to bots. I knew that I have a huge bots population. That's why I gave you guys a shout out as well yesterday. Cynthia says, they are only coming back on Tuesday. That's right. Not tomorrow. Tuesday, because my lord, he needs time, okay, because he's going to draft out and type out his what is it called, his ruling. And Rose is not in the court anymore, but I imagine he would have said, Rose, go to my office there by the bookshelf and go and get me 3 after books. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So he's there tidying up I'm sure he's going to load it up with case laws. It's going to be good. That's why he needed a whole day. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Because SAPC sound just started going. It started sounding like a car. Okay. A car that just doesn't want to start. Dan says the defense is thoroughly in charge. Mlambo Design says, girl, now tell me, just give me a wink. Are you who I think you are? If you are not, they are truly doppelgangers out there. And yes, no school drop off. I don't know what you're saying above. Girl, tell me, just give me a wink. Are you who I think you are? I don't know who you think I am. If you are not, they are truly doppelgangers out there. I don't even know what that word means. No school drop off today, and tomorrow is a holiday. Yay! Lumber Designs is not doing a school drop off tomorrow either. Dan says, Andile. I know, right? I mean, I didn't know what to do with Andile's comment. Like, what? Where do we even, sir? There are many videos to bring yourself up to speed. We cannot hold off the entire family to bring you up to speed. Okay, you just got to keep up. You got to keep up. But all you need to know, these are not the times to be slacking. Okay, these are the times, the end times. The defense is inside Parati. They're running the show. Are you trying to tell me, Andile, you missed Omnisiwe Mvula's performance this week? Oh, what a loss to society. What a loss. Vexa says, dearest all, prosecution is in deep Pagati, inside, hear me out. Okay, we're listening. Zungu initially said his dad has informed him about SENZO's unaliving. Then all of a sudden, he was with the accused. Nah, something is not right. I think the comment continues, but I can't see it. It won't show up on my screen. But I agree with you. Of course, Zungu Naiza is the biggest liar. Okay, and I say it without fear and favor. But then, you know how Senzo Mkhunu got really upset as a police minister. He got so upset with the TikToker. He sent the whole Hawks, to go and get his cell phone. So I am going on record and saying Zungu is a liar. Okay, come and get my cell phone if you want to see why I say that. You're not going to find it on the cell phone. You know where you're going to find the record of why I say Zungu is a liar? Inside Pagati within Judge Ratta's courtroom. You just got to get the Hawks to go and get the record, sit down and read 60,000 pages. The Hawks will see that I am not lying, that Zungu is a liar. And when they're done reading that record, can they take Zungu down the court stairs? Okay? Can they take him inside Pagati within? Let's just talk about Zungu for a whole second, okay? Now I'm upset. Zungu, according to his own words, was there. Okay. Wait, let me tidy up this story, because this came to mind in present day, because you know everything these days we got to start with Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Okay, remember he said there could never be peace between a criminal and a police officer. What was Zungu doing? What was Zungu doing, ladies and gentlemen? Being very, very peaceful with criminals. And as a police officer himself over there, he even gave his work car keys. Yeah, Gulugutus were driving the police car. Yeah. And then accused number 5 needed to move his car. And then, yeah. What just happened recently? Back again, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. He saw TikTok videos. How did he see the TikTok videos? Because he told us he doesn't have any social media. But anyway, we're neither there or there, okay? It doesn't matter. He saw the videos, okay, where these police officers on duty took a SAP's vehicle, all the lights on, and escorted a matriculant to the matric dance. And then these are the same people who are saying, yeah, no, we can't come to the crime scene. Okay, we can't. We don't have any vehicle. The vehicle is at the matric dance. Yeah, and they are currently calculating how much they should fine these people for the patrol, for using the car, for going to this matric dance during state time. Goningi, goningi. But if we use that exact same formula, it's all on record. It's written down in his statement that he did there with Gininda. A whole Gininda. Gininda should also go down for this. You wrote a statement from a SAPS member and didn't ask yourself, wait, the car? Which car? Your personal vehicle? No, the state vehicle. Oh, okay. And your firearm, your personal firearm? No. My state firearm, I gave it to them, Kulugutus. Yeah, I gave it to them. Colluding, okay, with Izinkabi. And he's still called Constable Zungu by my lord. Okay, if you say so. Mkhwanazi is going to handle it. I know if we ask Mkhwanazi to look into it, Zungu Naiza will be walking down those court stairs with the accused. That's one thing for sure. But Siavonga says, I have an inkling, okay, that Judge Rata will use the fact that admission of two confessions was not final. Therefore, rule against the application. He is shameless. Let me read this again. Let me see where you're going with this, okay? I have an inkling that Judge Rata will use the fact that the admission of the two confessions was not final. Yes, the confessions are not final. Therefore, rule against the application. So when you say against, he will say no. Accused number 4 still has a case to answer. But what case is he answering? If we take out the confessions, because I think that's what I'm understanding. Type it again, because I think English is jumping me there, okay? If you're saying the confessions are not final, which is true, the judge has said this several times. If the confessions, oh, I see what you're saying. The confessions are not final. So because they're not final, we can't just let Mapisa walk away, because what if the judge then decides they're final, but he's discharged him? Gotcha. Okay, English came back. Yes, I agree with this comment. Okay. And then we have greetings. Greeting, Ignacia. Ngobzita says, Judge Rata wants to grant accused number 4, section 174. Uzombambelela on confessions, DNA, dun. Alukho memeza ngakho ecourt kodwa sengingena ojudge bakithi. Yes, I agree with everything you said. I don't think that, no, I am retracting my statement. I don't agree the judge will grant the section 174. I don't think so, because he told us. He told us before he walked out. He said, and I repeat, he said section 51. He gave us a hint. So no, I don't believe it. I think he said section 51. I think that's the last thing I remember him saying. But let's continue. Dan says, but Njiaka wasn't cleared to practice at that time, according to Sispat. Okay, we've got to get that recording. Dr. Foot, what? Dr. Food went. Oh my goodness, Dan. Dr. Food went from a WhatsApp call to BlackBerry.net data. Listen, let's talk about that for a whole second, okay? Because I was very upset with the doctor. Very upset with him. And again, he's learning from the best, okay? Yes, I said it. The very best. I've never lost a single case, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling with this one. No ways that I want my first loss to be the SENZO MEYIWA trial. Baloi. He has taught the doctor to play around with words. So, you know what? On Dab, I have made this huge noise about WhatsApp calls. There were no WhatsApp calls in 2014. We are struggling with our evidence. We sound like idiots. Just substitute the word WhatsApp call and start to say BlackBerry. Okay? Nobody's going to understand that to have make a BlackBerry call, you have to have a BlackBerry and you can only call another BlackBerry. Like nobody's going to get that and no one is going to investigate that. So just say that because, the world is dumb. By the way, who do you think you're fooling? Okay, even the BlackBerry situation is even worse than saying a WhatsApp call because now you're there telling us that it was a Samsung ZTE, blah, blah, blah. Samsung ZTE is not BlackBerry. Wake up and smell the coffee. JJ says the judge condoning the state's lies and even trying to give them tips. He didn't try to give them tips. He gave them tips and then went home and realized, oh my goodness, what did I do? We've got to take back that tip, but damn, one Dava heard me already. It's on the record. I don't want anyone to say I'm the one who brought Sir, we all heard you. What do you mean you're not the one? You're the very person who told Baloyi to go and check who took the statement of Makelani, only for Baloyi to come back and call it an oral statement. What is an oral statement and how do you orally oath it? Who commissions this oral statement? This, ladies and gentlemen, reveals the state. If you never believed before that the state was cooking, this sentence alone, forget neutral evidence, okay? Forget neutral DNA. Forget the confessions. Forget that they went and pointed. Forget everything. Wipe everything off of your memory. The fact that Baloy came and stood with his chest and said, well, my lord, you see, Makalani's evidence was oral. What? How do you know what the oral evidence is? Because if it was oral, then it's not written down, then it means we're going by hearsay depending on what you orally heard. Then why the hell is SAPS always taking these what are they called? Warning statements. Like, why would anyone be bothered if you can just simply take an oral statement? Then we have Dan, our beloved Elton Hart, mistakenly said inconclusive when he meant exclude. Man, and the people are eating him up in the comments for that. Ooh. First of all, let's talk about Elton Hart. Elton with an E, because most people are spelling it with an A. I had to go and fact check myself because I'm like, why are people typing it with an A? Did I say it wrong? Because I'm very much a perfectionist. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I could not have possibly typed his name wrong. I went all the way to UJ, okay? UJ to tell me how to spell Mr. Elton Hart, Mr. E.R. Hart, okay, at the law clinic, and he's an attorney. His name is Elton with an E, okay, Hart, and he is located at the law clinic at the Soweto campus. Here is a little bit about Mr. Elton Hart, okay? Elton Romeo Hart is an admitted attorney affiliated to the Law Society of the Northern Province as well as the Cape Law Society and part of the Department Procedural Law at the University of Joburg. He holds the following qualifications: a BCom in economics and management science. Okay, so I see his calculated skill. Oh, from the University of Stellenbosch. You know Stellenbosch? Stellenbosch over there by the wine fields where Devo Malaka said, you know what, this is the place I want to be, inside within the capes. Okay, I need to be serious in life, okay? Devo Malaka, she went there with 60,000 rands as a gesture of goodwill to give the journalist, the Daily Maverick journalist, who sat, and then they gave him the $60,000. Her and Pasha, 60,000 rands. Her and Pasha, okay? And they put it on the table and they smiled. There's a gesture of goodwill. And she says, 60, we brought you a 60,000 rand goodwill gesture. And then the Daily Maverick takes a picture and they just keep sitting there. And then he walks away and says, no, I don't accept 60,000 rands. Are you kidding me? Like, why are you lowballing me? What do you think I am? We are in Stellenbosch. Just driving here is not enough, okay? And then the Devoho Malaka then said, you know what, I want to go and speak for myself on ENTA during Women's Month. And I want to sit there and say, I don't know, I didn't bring the money. I didn't bring the money. I don't know anything about the money. And then Daily Maverick said, how dare you? How dare you go to the ENCA and say you never knew about the money? It was all Pasha's idea. When you haven't even seen the full recording, I'm Daily Maverick reporter, okay? And I'm going to play the clip and I'm going to unmute. I was trying to help you out because you complained that everything was muted. So now I'm going to play it off mute and you can't even say it's AI. And there you are saying, yeah, we brought you a gesture of goodwill. 60,000 rand. How brave are you to be questioning anything after Lord Umkwanazi? Huh? Nobody, if I was Mgulugudu, let's just talk about it for a second, okay? If I was Mgulugudu, a renowned Mgulugudu, who walks around with 60,000 rands in my bag, plus, because the bag was full. That bag had 1,000,000. Someone said that in the comment section. Just look how stuffed the bag was. So, you know what? If I was Mgulugudu and I watched General Mkwanazi in combat uniform break it down to the innocent members of society who didn't even know who Kat Malaka is, who Katie Molefe is. Of course, Kenny Kunene knew who these people are. Okay. But anyway, we are not there. Um, I just wouldn't do any dealings right now. Okay. I would shut down all operations. Okay. I do not want to risk any recent anything. They would rather catch me for something I did in 2010 than to say after Mkwanazi came and said what he said. You went to ENCA and lied? Allegedly, okay, but we are not there. We are digressing. Let's go back. So Elton Hart got his BCom from the University of Stellenbosch, and then he went ahead and got an LLB, of course, from the University of Stellenbosch as well as a BCom honors. No, an honors BCom from the University. Okay, Stellenbosch. Okay, he's a triple Stellenbosch student. Okay. Elton Romeo Hart started his career as a candidate attorney and then later admitted as an attorney in 2007 with the law firm in Cape Town. He was admitted as an attorney of the High Court of South Africa. Oh, he's admitted. Okay. Attorney of the High Court of South Africa in 2008. Wow, that is many years' experience. I'm listening, and has been practicing as such since. He is an instructor. He is come on, University of Joburg. Come on now. Don't fail the English like this on Beyonce's internet. You can't say he is he is an instructor for lead at the Joburg School of Legal Practice as well as the Wits Law School since 2013. He regularly appears as a legal analyst on SABC News as well as radio program RSG. Yeah, that is a summary on Mr. Elton with an E, Hart. So I saw the comments. Okay, I think that my coffee has gone cold. Let me move it. It looks disgusting too. So, I think that that was just a slip of the tongue. Okay. And with Elton Hart, we will grant him grace. We'll grant him grace. But if he does it again, okay, then it's no longer a mistake. Okay, then he's affirmative in his words. So our beloved Elton Hart mistakenly said inconclusive when he meant excluded. That's the effects of cooking from all these players. Milo says the hat belongs to Utumelo. Period. Period. Look at the size of the hat. Let's talk about the hat. Yeah, I posted the hat. Did you guys see the hat? Or was I supposed to post it? I can't remember. Anyway, the hat is not like the hat of the former police minister. It's not that one. Okay, it's the other kind. So it's tiny. It's small. And I'm inclined to say, yeah, that is Dumelo's hat. But if it's Dumelo's hat, oh, they don't have the other people's DNA. Remember, the only DNA they found at the scene was that of Uzandi. Interesting. Then why didn't they? Well, never mind. They're cooking. Why would they pin the hat to Utumela? They need the hat, okay? But do you also notice, and Nhlanhla then says, another nonsense is, why did Fisakuhle Ntuli ask accused number 3 if he really shot Senzo? That was accused number 4. Why did accused number 4 ask? That's nonsense. It's garbage. It's gibberish. I agree with you. What Mkulugutu ask another Mkulugutu? Is he really dead? Like, for me, that's ridiculous. And, number 3, if he really unalived Senzo, yet Mngube went in last to do what no one knows. No, I think you're mixing names up. You've mixed up the names. So let me correct your comment. Why did accused number 4, okay, who is Mapisa, ask accused number 3 if he really unalived Senzo? Accused number 3 is Mngube. Yet, accused number 4 is the one who went in last. Yeah, we still don't know what he went in to do there. We can only know if Zandi comes back to tell us, to add to her testimony, which she's never said ever before. The effects of cooking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oetu says, Mzansi, this case is just a sad story because accused number 1 and 2, their state just want to bear. Okay. Because accused number 1 and 2, the state just wants to bury them. It's just so sad. So sad. So sad. I also did a video about Umziligaziwe Africa, and he also asked a question which I think is quite relevant. Who got the reward money? Who has that money? Nobody came to tell us who has the money. Who got the money? Remember, they put out a reward for information leading to the arrest of the accused. So who got the money? Zungu? Zunganizer? Who got the money? Kininda? Who got the money? We need to know who got the money, okay? The state has to come and tell us who got the money. The same way they came to tell us that there's a reward, they must come back and say we have paid the reward, okay? Tiani says, a good evening. We are inside Pagati. I hope everybody is okay. We are okay. But then the question is, hello. We are okay, but have you gone ahead and liked the video? Have you gone ahead and liked the video? I'm going to repeat that one more time just to make sure if you haven't liked the video, you've taken this opportunity to go ahead and encourage Mzansi Unfiltered to continue with her storytelling. By liking the video, you are showing that you are listening, you're paying attention, you are listening, everything is making a lot of sense, and that we must continue down this rabbit hole called the struggle of the state. There was a comment that came in today that said, let's go back to Amatoso, okay? Let's go back. He was acquitted, even though there were over 18 witnesses. No, not witnesses, victims. I think he said victims. He was acquitted, but here inside this case, why didn't the state cook in that case to keep him in? Okay, yeah, that was the point that the person was getting at. Kuningi, guys. Kuningi and... Ooh, 1 second, okay? I'm doing something. That's why I was waiting for you guys to like. I want to add some sound effects, okay? Yay! So let's get back into the comment section. Let me do a test if this works. Woo! Can you guys hear that? I love it. And then yeah, I'm going to play these sounds when you guys, I'll see on the comments, okay? Next comment is, hi girl, you live? I was not aware. Okay, Chansha, I'm here live in the flesh. Welcome. You made it. That is the good news. Zoli, and I hope you're still in the room, okay? I hope you're still here. Zoli says, both Longwe and Umtogozisi. Oh, yeah, both Longwe and Umtogo ran out of the house, but Izinkabi on the lookout just said, you know what? Let them do their thing. Doesn't make sense. Remember, Zandi said she performed. What? Why do I not remember this? But this is so funny. Zandi said she performed a rugby move on the trigger puller with her tiny little body. Zandi, please. Nobody believes you. Definitely not me. Because what do you mean you performed a whole rugby move? Which one exactly? Huh? Which one exactly? Tell us which one. Oh, these sounds are going to kill me. They're going to be the end of me, okay? Next one, Dan says, please change these Andile agent comments on the stage. Huh? What are you talking about? Wait, let me read that again. Please change these Andile agent comments on the stage. Oh, I think maybe I left that comment where he was asking us to tell him. Hmm? You know what? Maybe if you had put a super thanks and delay, you know what? I would have taken the whole day, tell you everything. Guilty confession. Money talks, yeah? Monet says, I just laughed out loud. Good evening, family. Good evening. Laughter is definitely good for the heart. Google images of the money. Can you imagine that? And what does the money add up to? They never came to tell us, Mr. State people. Struggle evidence. Edwin is here. Edwin says, who will go to where the guns are blazing? I could I could see why accused number 4 went. His best friend, because his best friend's with accused number 3. I could see why he would go, because he wants to make sure he leaves. Come on, Edwin. Even soldiers in the army, they go in and they take their buddies, even if they're wounded. So for me, yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I would go. Me too, included, for my friend, if it mattered. Sikona, there we go. Jeremiah's inside party within. Sikona inside party. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. It brings me absolute joy. Okay. And then Tara plays Roblox. You know what? I want to start a Roblox channel. Guilty confession. Side note, I'm going to tell you a tiny little story. I was supposed to go to a Roblox event and I just didn't go. Yeah, I didn't go. And I regret not going. It was this month, actually. If I really think about it, I was supposed to go. It was a big deal. It was a big YouTube event. I just woke up that day and just didn't feel like going. So, yeah, teach me Roblox, okay? I want to open a Roblox channel. Do you guys play Roblox? Let me know in the comment section down below. Mr. Lapoge, yes, yes, yes. Umaga Sandra is here. Hello, hello. Makaleni here with my torch. So she says Makaleni has torch eyes, which can see in the dark. You know, he's got that vision. Like what Brigadier Kininda was wearing in his what Brigadier Kininda was wearing in his Robocop outfit. The vision on those things is very visiony, okay? It's very, very amplified. It's very much, let's see what's going on. It's giving a Black SEAL, Navy SEAL, or whatever they're called. So, but Makaleni didn't have all that gear. It's just his eyes. What a shame. What a loss. He could have been an asset of the state because he's got such amazing vision. They could have used him. I can only see the golden tooth, but I definitely cannot see the locks. Imagine that. And what? Accused number 3 was smiling the entire time. Remember, to see a gold tooth, the person has to really be smiling for that tooth to be out there. Umlambo Design says, you sound like my friend, like 1,000%. I hadn't talked to her in a while. And when I did, I was like, wait, what? Mlambo, I'm not your friend. Of course, I'm your friend, but I'm not the friend you think I am. Absolutely not. Play our sound side by side, okay? Definitely not, okay? Why? Because I don't have a friend who's Mlambo, okay? No offense, but no, it's not me. But I can tell you, if your friend sounds like me, your friend, you are in good books, okay? You are in good books. No, it's not me. Honestly, it's not me. Um, because I don't talk on the phone. That's another thing, okay? Because I'm so lazy to talk on the phone. I Let me see. I haven't even gone on WhatsApp today. Let me go in and check. I know I'll have messages. I get in a lot of trouble for not answering my phone. See, I have messages. Wait. Okay, no. No. So that message can wait. La forget. Yes, yes, yes. Don't. Oh yeah, please tell me. Doppelganger, people that resemble each other without being related. I learned something today. Okay, this is why I love the comment section. Doppelganger. Am I even pronouncing it well? I never heard of that word in my life ever. You must be in the same books as Valoy. Valoy always comes with these words, and I'm always like, what is he saying? Doppelganger. Sounds cool too. Zungu is not only a liar, but a psychopath. Ooh, like his handlers. He gave away his own father. He's beyond psychopath. He has to be taken away. He absolutely has to be taken away. And you know what? Wait. No, I don't like this sound. It's too slow. I need it like multiple times, you know? Yeah, Zungu. No. And I don't know why my Lord seems to be so in love with him. My Lord loves Zungunizer. Okay. That is the hill he is willing to die on. Okay. Don't say anything about when Absalom Zungu comes to court. Yes, I said when. Yeah. I'm prophesying it. When Absalom Zungu comes to court, he will not be received well by my Lord because my Lord loves Absalom Zungu. Okay, there is nothing you can tell my Lord about Absalom Zungu. Even if Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi walked into that court and said, why on earth did Zungu use the state vehicle from 2 p.m. when he went to, can't remember where he picked up the other guy, and then he then went to hang out with Mkulugudus for the entire evening. Not only was he hanging out with them, he was drinking with them. He gave them his firearm. He gave them his car keys. It was just Kunini, guys. Okay. And my Lord is sitting there going, he's an amazing witness. Okay. He is so amazing. Let's give him police escort to go back to KZN to get his notes. You know what? My Lord is a very questionable man. Just for Zungu alone, I question his entire integrity. Monet says, guys, what do you think Rata will rule on Tuesday? Me, I see a lot of quotes and then deny. Yeah, that's exactly me. Um, I know I'm gonna be sad. I can already tell. I'm gonna be upset. I'm not gonna do any videos. I can already see it because someone also put this in the listen. The SENZO MEYIWA trial is such an emotional roller coaster. It is crazy, and I'm an empath, so I feel things a lot. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah, and so I'm trying to kind of talk myself into understanding that's what my Lord is going to do so that I don't get upset for a whole week. Okay. Yvonne, and that happened to me when the confessions were ruled in. I was devastated. I was sad. It was like it was my own brother in that courtroom. It was so sad. And I didn't want to listen to the SENZO MEYIWA trial again. I just didn't want. I was upset. So I'm letting you know in advance. If I disappear next week, that's the reason why. Okay, I'll be really, really upset. Yvonne, hello, my love. Hi, Yvonne. I'm from Cape Town. Hello, Cape Town. And September is coming tomorrow. Literally, tomorrow is September. When we wake up, it'll be September and there'll be no commission of inquiry. Just letting you know. Okay. And then, um, who do we have? Utavi says here, this useless judge. He won't grant Section 174 because he is in cahoots with Kamota and Vaseline Team State. He sacrificed his own father for money. But the question is, did he get the money? That's the $1 million question. The Section 174 application has put the judge between the rock and the... Yes! Yes! The judge, you can see it, and you can see it in his behavior. This was a tough week for him. Very, very tough week. That's why he says things like, I can't put it on the record. I can't, Baloi. Okay, stop asking. You're irritating me and you're putting me on the spot, and the law won't allow me. I remember those words. He's like, the law won't allow me. Stop asking. And besides, you've done a terrible job in your argument. Because Mumalo actually did a fantastic job. He did such a fantastic job. I was agreeing with him. Okay, I was going, the entire time until I realized, wait, that's not the state. That's the defense. That's how good Mumalo did. He had my lord eating from the palm of his hands. And then at the end, he says, yeah, Makaleni's statement. Because he suddenly realized what time it was. Anyway, let me finish reading your comment. So, the Section 174 application has put the judge between the rock and the hard place. If he grants it, then it means the rest of the accused will walk out as free men. Exactly. And if he doesn't, then the state will go down. So, Guningi, guys, I can't wait. I want to see how he's going to play this one. I just want to say, my lord, if you're listening, just know, okay, there's a Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi over there in the KZN, okay? You don't want to mess with him, okay? Because as we speak right now, Shadrach Sibia is still crying, okay? He doesn't want to be home in his tiny little corner. And then, can you believe it? They took those 121 dockets and they've sent them back to the KZN. Masamola has upset the whole police commissioner. Police minister, the brand new acting police minister, is not at all happy about that. Guys, when you think about it, I know, like, when you think like dockets, like a docket is not like 4 pages in a folder. Dockets are huge. Think of Umnisi walking around with 60,000 pages. Okay, a book typically has about 800 pages. So if a docket has, and I know it's record, but I'm just using that number just to help us vision what it is that Shadrach Sibia had in his office, okay? So let's say 60,000 pages. That's just one case. A book has about 800 pages, a big book. That's like having 75 books for one case. 75. That's a bookshelf. So where exactly did Sevilla have these dockets in his office? Because they're huge. I imagine to transport them, they're transporting them in a huge truck. It's not like, tiny little folders. I don't think so. Not at all. They are huge documents. Maybe some of them are even in boxes. And this man kept them in his office. Anyway, they're no longer in his office, even though, he's outside the court saying, you know what, how dare Masamola tell me that I can't come to work? I need to be back inside. Like, the way he is so loud with wanting to go back to work screams volumes. We need to know, okay, what's in those dockets, who are in those dockets, and what's going on. And they need to execute those arrests because Sbia is on fire, okay? Now he wants a full bench. Talk about entitlement.com. A full bench. Who do you think you are? But you know what? I don't want the Hawks to come and take my phone, so let me talking about Shadrach Sibia, okay? Because he's very sensitive. He's a very sensitive man. Are you a criminal? I'm a disciplined member of SAPS, and I've worked for SAPS for 37 years. Oh my goodness. Oh Oh my goodness, Shadrach Sevilla. Shadrach Sevilla needs to be studied, okay? He's a case study all on his own, okay? Monet says, Dan, yes, the records show that Umchiago wasn't practicing by then. Not at all, but he's inside Pagati within the Boxburg Magistrate Court. JJ, that's what I am also thinking. Me too. Next comment says, did you call him a food? He did. He did. He did. And it was too late for me to stop myself from saying it because I had already said it out loud. Cry me a river, doctor. Cry me a river. Rata has no ways. Huh? Sometimes I think you guys test me. Wait. Rata has no way. See, I want to make sure I do the punchline well, but I'm failing to start. Okay, failing to launch. Okay, let me try one more time. Rata has no ways. He must not accept Makeleni's statement. If he accepts it, then Absalom Zungu's statement must be admitted without him testifying on the defense side because the state have won. And then the comment cuts off. Let me see if I can see it on this side. Wait, let me check on another screen. That comment is from Noelungu. I know. I'm trying to find your comment. Here it is. Oh, it also doesn't finish up on this one. Okay. Basically, if I'm understanding, she's saying there is no way, okay, absolutely no way the judge can accept that statement. Okay, it's garbage. It's gibberish. Makaleni is unalived anyway, and besides, it was a verbal statement. There's no provisions in section 1030 to accept verbal statements, okay? But if the judge insists and accept Makeleni's statement, he must accept Absalom Zungu's new statement. Yes. And admit it on once the defense takes over the state. Yeah. I think that's what I'm saying. But if not, I think that's what you're saying. But if not, type it again. Okay, type it again. Monet says, suddenly we have oral state. Can you imagine that? Oral statements and neutral DNA. All in 1 week, we've learned these new concepts. What we won't hear in this court does not exist. Absolutely. What did Zandi did? You made my evening. I'm laughing my lungs. Yeah, the what did Dan call it? The rugby kick. We will end tomorrow. Woo! I love this. Are we? Are we? Let me see. Let me see. Where are we? Where do we stand? You know what? Let's take this moment to take a commercial break. And by commercial break, I mean, can you check on your loved ones? Can you check if they are subscribed to Mzansi Unfiltered? Hello, we are on the road to 70. We need to leave the 60s, guys. I've been struggling with the 60s. Okay, who's the one who said 60? Wait, it wasn't Sambo. It was the guy after. Who was it? I can't remember. It was the photographer, right? The one who took the picture of the chickens. Is that him? I don't remember. Let me know in the comment section down below. I don't think we'll do it tomorrow, but I think we'll do it in September. Ooh. Yes, I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I cannot wait. I don't think it will be tomorrow. No. But to help us get to our milestone, can you, check your family member, check your friend, check your coworker, check your boss. Make sure they're all subscribed to Mzansi Unfiltered. They won't regret it. I promise you, it's a family-friendly channel. We've got families watching, okay? But don't just watch on one device. Make sure all devices are subscribed so that, notification gang, everybody gets the notification. Because a family that watches Mzansi Unfiltered together is a family that stays together. And here we are as a family on a Sunday gathered here inside Pagati within. Yes. Sivongile says, yay, I'm inside Pagati within Mzansi Unfiltered. Hello, everybody with Miss I Digress. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day. Yay! Oguhle, undiluted. Why are you undiluted? As it pleases the court, my lord, I am a Pagati inside within. Yes, yes, please, as it pleases. Within the Mzansi Unfiltered, Zungu got the promotion and Gininda was paid to arrest the 5 accused. What? Was paid to arrest the 5 guys to save the real suspects who are involved in this. So you're saying Gininda got the reward money? Are police allowed to get the reward money? That's going to be interesting. We'll have to ask Paul O'Sullivan, okay? Because he likes to talk about the monies inside SAPs. I am inside Pagati within Mzansi Unfiltered with a voice of Mr. Grace. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Even though I will be out very soon, that's okay. You stop by, you hit the like, you put in a comment, you built the engagement, the algorithm thanks you. Mzansi Unfiltered thanks you. Okay, I am indebted to the court. Pepe says Mr. Dan has a view that the legal expert has been wrong to use the word inconclusive instead of excluded by Elton Hart. I believe that's what your comment would have ended with. Apostle. Hello, Apostle. All protocol observed. Imagine an apostle watching your show. You are a blessing. I didn't even see the comment, but you see, so prophetic. I started it off with all protocol observed. Yes, Apostle. Thank you for joining. That is so funny. Yes, imagine an apostle watching my show on a Sunday, the day of the Lord. This is what we do. We gather here with Mzansi Unfiltered. Thank you so much. Monet says, my Lord, I'm indebted checking out. Good night. Thank you so much for staying with us. Ricardo says, I'm watching Nigel. I'm watching Nigel from Zim. I don't understand. Who's Nigel? Who's Nigel? Guys, who's Nigel? Let me know in the comment section. Ricardo, who's Nigel? Good night, good night, good night, Monet. Don't erase. Erase what? Wait, what are we talking about? I'm missing something. Don't erase what? Tutuzeli. Okay. A channel member. Shout out to our channel members. Good evening. All protocol observed. Okay. Channel members need the observation from Miss I Digress because you guys support financially the channel and I love it. I love it for us. Accused number 4 was on standby as far as a Geninda. But when there was a scuffle inside the house. Yes! Listen. We gotta clap that one out. We've got to clap that one out because wow. I just love these sounds. Can you tell? It's new. I like new things. Let's go back to this comment. What? Yes. Accused number 4 was on standby. As far as Gininda is telling us. Okay. But then when there was a scuffle, he said, nah, let them fight it out. And I'm watching through the window and Zandi and that rugby kick. Let her rugby kick, okay? Let her rugby done things. Let her do her things as tiny as she is. You know what? I'm gonna stand outside here because whatever. A whole scuffle. And he never went inside to assist his friends. He just went in and out without being seen by the people. This is a brilliant observation, okay, from our channel member. Yay! I agree with you. We've never actually broken that down. That is a fantastic point. Magelani saw a gold tooth from a distance running intruder. One witness ran out of the house but came back without help. Right? The story doesn't make sense. It would never be a Netflix bestseller. Never. The storyteller, the author of this confession, needs help. Needs to be committed immediately. Streaming from the US, but this case really showed us that justice is for the rich. It's not for the poor. Hello, US of A! Thank you for joining. What time is it there? Wow, English. How can you embarrass me like that? What time is it there now? Why was I going to say over now? Anyway, what time is it there? What is in the building? Hey, just joining the live. Gosh, I missed a whole hour. Good news, okay? the replay is going to be up. Make sure you check it out. Oops. What have I done? What have I done? Next comment says, Gininda and Rata didn't bring us to Makumelo's house to see the distance from the house to the park. I'm actually going to cover that in accused number one's confession and pointing out. So watch out for that video tomorrow morning. So yeah, they didn't. How can the state not want to go and do a local inspection in local of the crime scene? Yes, with respect of the people that they weren't given advance notice, no problem. I respect that. But how about you arranged it? How about you arranged it before the state case closed? So, and why didn't the defense request that? Anyway, let's continue. No evidence of the hospital that, yes, I agree with that one as well. And if you caught my video from where I was breaking down the tweets by Umziliga as well, Africa, he asked a pertinent question. What happened to SENZO Meyiwa's shoes from that day? I was like, what? What are you telling us, members of the public jury? Who took the shoes? Where did they go? Next comment says, Mr. Dan has a view that the legal expert used the word wrongly by saying inclusive instead of excluded. The findings of the DNA were inclusive because the results were indecisive and ambiguous. I'm going to read that one more time. Mr. Dan has a view that the legal expert used the word, and it's not just Dan, a lot of comments. I got a lot of comments on that in the video. Sorry, I had to cough. The findings of the DNA were inclusive because the results were indecisive and ambiguous. Wait, I want to read English again. Okay, English is playing with me. The findings of the DNA were inclusive. I think we should go back to Mr. DNA and listen to his version. Okay, I'll do a video of that in the morning. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, hold that thought. Okay, hold that thought. We'll break it down again as a family. Next comment. I have to rush through these comments because we're hitting the 2-hour mark and we can't do that. Krukbaloy. Krukbaloy is a storyteller, and Fagazile Van Rata is an old man who likes to listen to those fiction stories by Gininda Baloy and co. Yeah, he loves them. Oh my God. Especially Zungu. Like, Zungu is his favorite character. He loves Zungu. There's nothing, like, you can never make my lord hate Zungu, okay? Even if you bring Absalom Zungu into the court to say, my own son wanted me to meet him in secret with... My lord would be like, why didn't you go and meet him? That's your son, a whole constable. How dare you not go? Words of the DNA expert was the 5 are excluded. Keyword excluded. Okay, Dan is back. Okay, he stands on his word. Umkonaze is coming for them. Watch out, Gininda. Watch yourself, Baloy. The orange overalls are waiting for you guys. Umkonaze, we really need you over here. Please take a day trip, okay, to the Pretoria. Just go sit in that courtroom just for measure, okay? Just to shake up the system, okay? Just to sit in there and just be like, hey, what's up? Because, like in Judge Ndim's courtroom, when he was doing like major rulings or anything, the ministers were in there, okay? Top politicians were in there. Everybody was there except Gayton McKenzie. Okay, Gayton wasn't there. But that's okay. Okay, that's a story for another day. Zandi said, I did a rugby move. Now I want to go listen to her, okay? Telling it as it is. As you should, okay? As you should. Telling it as it is, says, good day, Mzansi Unfiltered. Thank you for giving us worthy content. Yay, thank you. Wow, thank you. I'm honored with your analysis always. Yay. I truly appreciate your tenacity, okay? and thorough analysis you give always. Oh my goodness, I am indebted to the court. Thank you, telling it as it is, and you surely did tell it as it is, and I appreciate you. Okay, Godfrey is here, and he says, wait, I have to pause because I have to make sure that I'll tell you guys in a second. I have to pause right there. Okay, cool. It's not the enemy of the state. Hi, Godfrey. If the glove doesn't fit, you know what to do with the struggle phase. Exactly. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I mistook you for somebody else. Okay. I was about to delete, block, unalive you. Okay. But yeah, please, I'm sorry. um, Godfrey. Okay, not the other one, not the enemy of the state. Okay, this is another Godfrey. He says, if the glove doesn't fit, you know what to do. Exactly. Okay, O.J. Simpson case, my lord. O.J. Simpson case. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Okay, if accused number 4 cannot be placed at the crime scene by cell phone triangulation, because just because you showed up on that Pinky's Mololeki tower, Voslores tower, does not mean you are responsible for the unaliving of SENZO MEYIWA, and I rest my case. Edwin says we must be careful of yes, yes, yes. You know, they say when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. And he has come out to say, what do you mean the dockets have gone back to Kaiser? What do you mean? Imagine a police minister coming into administrative issues of the police, and he's never been a policeman. But they say there can never be peace between a policeman and a criminal. So I rest my case. Dan says, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit the struggle. Exactly. I agree. Jose says, true, brother, just acquit the accused. Full stop. Oh, it says, so Mzansi Valoi and the judge want us to believe that you can turn a revolver. Yes, of course, because this is a fiction story. Come on now. They are writing the story as they go. You can turn a revolver into a 9mm, and if a DNA only reads you and some areas, not on all, then the DNA pointers that can read you as the DNA. The DNA, they stopped saying that. If you notice, Baloi has cleaned up his DNA because I think they went during the break and then they studied DNA and they got an expert to come in because, they don't need a budget from legal aid. They can just, call people and somebody explained to them how ridiculous they sound. That's why this week they changed it to the DNA evidence is neutral. Lambert Design says, signing out, fam. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you for hanging out. This was long. Oh, you hung out with us. I know you were trying to catch me to think, yes, it is my friend. No, I'm not. Okay. Signing out, fam. Great hanging out. Still can't believe how much you guys sound out. Listen, you see. I didn't even read her full comment, but I knew. Okay, I knew the motive. I'm just kidding, because normally, if I do a live during the week, she can't stay long because she's doing school pickup and drop off, I think, depending on the time. That is so funny. But now, you see, you know what? Go over to GNU Unfiltered, post a sound clip from her, and I'll confirm or deny, okay, if we sound the same. Now I want to hear who sounds like me. Imagine somebody else sounding like me. Miss, I digress, okay? I'm a one of a kind. Siyabonga says, sacela osisi base salon. Huh? Backhanded. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Siyabonga says, can the women, inside the saloons, can they do a wig with dreadlocks and then put it on Ngube's head so that we see if it's him? No, okay, we cannot assist the state So one thing about um, being in a criminal trial, the defense does not help the state prove their guilt. So the accused cannot be working with the state to prove their guilt or work with the state to prove their innocence. The state is the one who has to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the accused are guilty. The defense just cracks the state's case, which is what we're seeing happening here, and which is what we're seeing by Louis struggle. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Next comment says, oh, I read it already. Did I? Yeah, I did. I will do that with her permission. You're still in the call. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're still here. I thought you were gone. I thought I was gossiping. I thought I was gossiping. You can't say bye and not. I thought I was gossiping. I'm so sorry. Okay, okay, okay. When you do, okay, when you post it over there, no one's gonna see it. It's just gonna be me, and then I'll delete it. How about that for a deal? um, I'll see it. Like anything you post there. Like, let me see. Did anybody post? Let me check my other channel. That's at 6,000 subscribers, in case you didn't know. So nobody has posted yet, but if you post, I get to see it first, and then I will approve it. But in this case, we have a deal. I won't approve it. I'll delete it. I'll listen and I'll confirm or deny if it sounds like me, or if you have an overactive imagination. Okay. Sibongile says, what hurts the most is that our tax, yes, I'm already hurting before I even finish reading your statement. Our tax money is being misused by the state. When are we gonna see justice to be served? This is disrespect for the Meyiwa family. And of course, where have you ever heard of a family supporting the defense? Like, where have you ever heard of such? Only here, inside Pagati, within the SENZO MEYIWA trial. Have a blessed night, you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seeing Baloy on the screen makes me. Okay, wait, where's that comment? Seeing Baloy on the screen makes me throw up. I rather put in Danzi looking at the lady behind the defense. What? I've never even noticed that. What are you talking about? Good night, family. Okay, I'm going now before I burn the food. Don't burn the food. I am watching you close, Mzansi Unfiltered. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, before you leave, please make sure you hit the like button. Oh my goodness, look at that. I didn't even see this. I didn't even watch the screen. Guys, wow. You must. I love the sounds. Okay, do you guys love the sounds? Let me know. 5, drop a 5 if you love the sound effects. But I didn't even notice we hit over 2,000 people are joining the live today. Thank you for the support, family. Oh my goodness, that is impressive. Ooh, yes. Let me see. One more sound. Okay, let me play one more sound. I'm gonna remove this. What is that? What is that? What on earth is that? How do I remove it? No. What is this one? This one's another one that needs to go. No, I like this one. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Miss I Digress. Mzansi Unfiltered was live with you on the Sunday. You guys came through. You guys said, yes, we are inside Pagati within. You hit the like button. You are watching the ads. You are supporting the channel because, hello, tomorrow is the first of the month. Thank you for all your support in the month of August. Okay, I see you. I see you, and I love it so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this video right here. Because what do they say? Things that don't end, okay? Everything must come to an end, and this is it. Mzansi Unfiltered, checking out.